Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the south side as the British forces, we have Topgaming. Spawning as the US player, we have Ouwesokken, probably butchering that, as their opponent as the Wehrmacht player with Malloy-chan. And as the Panzer Elite player, we have AdlerBoss. Panzer Grenadiers deployed on out. Looks like he failed with his rally queue there. And we've got some more forces being deployed on out, of course. More infantry sections here. Not packing up the HQ just yet, so far 2 infantry sections. Pioneers advancing forward, capturing some multiple sectors. This fuel point being captured up, so he may deploy out his HQ in this region. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward as well.
We've secured the location. Section ready. We've captured the target.
Capturing some more of these points. We do have, looks like the scope rifle squads do find the fire the first bullets this game. Pioneers, of course, out of range to counter attack. The Pioneers just are trying to rush forward to the garrison potentially, trying to stall out his opponent. Over on the left side, we got the Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, engaging the riflemen. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers come back off to a bit of heavy cover there. It looks like both sides are sticking to the heavy cover. Over here, nope. Over here, I hear much better. Bren carrier has been deployed on now. Pioneers inside the garrison, getting some damage on the Bren carrier. Infrastructure force load up in the back, and you've got the motorcycle also engaged in the Bren carrier now. Infantry 42 maybe trying to get inside the garrison as well. Rifleman, his teammates engineers could quickly repair the scratches on that Bren carrier as it starts patrolling around. Now we've got the scope rifle squad flanking the MG42, getting some good hits there, but he will get overran himself. Bren carrier going the mix of everything. MG42 received quite a bit of fire there. Scope rifle squad is still firing away. Bren carrier is going to try to get the mix of everything, which makes him able to fire off all of his guns. MG42 severely wounded. Rifleman squad advancing forward as well, hitting that MG42. The MG42 could get wiped out right about now. Bren carrier getting some good hits there, taking on the Pioneers. MG42 does get decrewed by the Rifleman squad. More Rifleman squads coming to reinforce as well. Bren carrier is down less than half health, about 30% health. And he does take out the Pioneer inside the garrison as well. It looks like the Wehrmacht player has lost a large number of assets. Take a look down the one Pioneer, Volks Grenadier, and motorcycle. Motorcycle's now getting button. If he gets one more burst off, no, he's doing the repairability there on the Bren carrier there, and the button was still active, so prevent the motorcycle from really escaping out. Panzer Grenadiers are engaging from heavy cover there, and Volks Grenadiers are inside this garrison, not recapturing that MG42. 4 Panzer Grenadiers in this region. Rifleman squad and engineer will get overran by those forces. As we have Volks Grenadiers inside this garrison as well, there is 5 windows on the side to engage the intersection, but we'll see splitting some fire onto the riflemen as well. I would say stay inside that garrison. It's a good garrison from stay from. Lewis is backing off to grab the MG42. First squad of Volks Grenadiers now deployed out on the field. Bren carrier has plenty of health after that repair, and the MG42 does find an angle there on the intersection to suppress them. Now we do have the HQ command truck advancing forward, trying to lock down this fuel point. The US player captured this other fuel point as well. Fuel point is now secure. You can see by the white text, the pennant, and the truck in the region. And these entry sections are still slowly being whittled away, but the Panzer Grenadiers can't stay in the region for too much longer. They almost get wiped out right there.
Volksgrenadiers 100%.
Yep, 100% health, 100% models, and given the next engagement, they will no longer be 100% because they'll be stricken by PTSD at least. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, getting some good hits there onto those engineers. Rifleman squad does get suppressed by the MG42. MG42 is quite wounded, so may need to fall back and reinforce. Can't really get it healed up, can you?
What do you want?
Volksgrenadiers trying to stall out these forces so this MG42 can set on up, and his Bren carrier is getting some great angles there, and does drop a model there. Panzer Grenadiers coming to support as well. Unable to fire another burst there, so it's unable to get any sort of suppression there. Panzer Grenadiers advance forward. Volksgrenadiers do fall back. They may get wiped out. They do get fully wiped there. Right now, the Wehrmacht players are losing a lot of squads. These squads do fall back themselves, and one of them may get wiped out as well. Panzer Grenadiers do go down. Right now, the Axis players are just losing a lot of force. Mortar hit. Did a Wehrmacht mortar? And the mortar half-track right there. Now we do have the MMG carrier upgrade there, ready to engage these Panzer Grenadiers. Does suppress one of those models. Over here, we do have, looks like a US. That must have been a captured MG42 from right here. We do now have a fresh Panzer command. We'll likely build out 1 to 5 222s throughout the game. Skirmish phase has been upgraded as well.
Reserves are ready to deploy.
And he's gone for Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg is a good option, of course. He could go without some Stormtroopers since he's lost other units entirely. G43 squads do find the Bren carrier. The Bren carrier was fully healed. He, of course, changed that. Unknown doctrine for the Panzer player at the moment. The Brit has an unknown doctrine as well. Likely Royal Artillery. That's just a hunch. And for the US players, once again, another unknown doctrine. Does have the motor pool selected. Don't see anything being built from the motor pool, and doesn't have anything out from the motor pool either. Captured MG42 gets some good suppression there to support the suppression of the Bren carrier, suppressing all 3 of these Panzer Grenadier models. Mortar half-track collecting and eyeing up barrage onto that garrison now. Yep, looks like he is barraging that building there. He does back out the MG42 a long time ago. Some of these forces are starting to get pinned down now. He, of course, can't really stick around for too long. Motor pool is now fully complete. Looks like the motor pool was not actually fully complete. And he has a massive reserve of resources. I probably would have gone for the tank depot, go out for a Sherman tank at the current rate. The amount of resources he has. These forces does get forced back by the MG42. Very nice. Stormtroopers advancing forward. Some pair of Panzer Treks who do have something being deployed out here. Armor command truck. So he's skipping the sappers. He's skipping the steward. Got out of the captain and going straight for perhaps a Cromwell. Speaking about sappers, we do have a sapper here. Yeah, we do have to support the captain in this region, so he's able to get some extra defense there. Captain's also firing away with his revolver. Not sure how effective the revolver is at any point in time. If field support trucks are using quite a bit of fire there, we do have to see one of those stormtroopers now. Couple good hits there, more on the field support truck. He needs fully designated marksman to get that squad forced back sooner rather than later. Of course, he does save this field support truck. But luckily, he has some sappers in the region to repair it up as well. That's way too low on health in order to leave that alone. Mortars running on in onto that infantry section. We do have a split trench here as well. Armor command truck has been pulled on out. The infantry support truck is on the munitions point here. Not a great munitions point.
The initiative is ours. Victory countdown started.
Allies are down by 2 tickets. X players are down by 105 now. Go Breakfast Squad advancing forward. There is this Pioneer Squad, unvetted, no kills. Gun engaging these infantry sections, and now, or not infantry, Panzer Grenadiers, and now do have a Greyhound with the 50 cal, with the armor skirts engaging these Panzer Grenadiers at close range. HE-42 set up in this region, and these Panzer Grenadiers are getting ripped apart by the Greyhounds. 2 Greyhounds have been pulled out. 50 cal first, then armor skirts. Most people go for the armor skirts first. He does take out that Panzer Grenadier entirely. Section C2 on the Volks Grenadiers. And it looks like the Slit Trench and the M242 are now engaging each other at long range.
The Germans are after one of our munitions.
Volks Grenadiers with the MP40s do force back those squads. Now Greyhounds are skirting around. Does have Section C2 on that Stormtrooper. Rolls a 2 hits there on that Greyhound. Sniper's camouflage. A stray shot could actually wipe out that sniper there. Does take out the Kettengrad there. Sniper backing on off. Trying to go for the wounded Greyhound first. Wounded Greyhound's doing a nice ripper on the Rosie. Fires a sniper shot there, not realizing he had that select as well. Does get a couple good hits there as well. Greyhound fires a shot through the hedge line. He does go and get suppressed there by those Greyhound pinto mounts. Staghound has been pulled on out. He may be eyeing for a Staghound spam. And looks like the Volks Grenadier squad will be pursued all the way home. That's Grenadiers engaging these rifleman squads.
Destroyed a German target.
These rifleman squads are getting hit quite severely. Patrick squad seeing quite a bit of fire. He is going to follow that squad back. Now you have the Staghound advancing forward. Staghound will see Patrick fire. Not really paying attention to the Staghound. Gets 2 good hits there. I heard supercharged rounds, so the Brit has gone for supercharge. Unknown doctrine for the US player. He has a couple Greyhounds there. He could go for what's called armor for field capture. Let's see if we see a Patrick pop out in time. No, it looks like the Staghound will escape. Do we see landmines or tree path? No, we do not.
Panzerschreck deployed and ready.
You're losing a sector.
2 more half-tracks has been pulled out by the Panzer Elite player.
There's 300 points left.
He's still fighting against 2 Greyhounds. It's not exactly a great combination. So you could go for Tank Hunter and get out some Teller Mines. That may be the best option you can select. Mortars are raining on in somewhere over here. Nope, right there. 2 Stormtroopers advancing forward. One of 2 Panzerschreck, the other one of just the one at the moment. Second one's not on the build queue, doesn't have enough munitions for it. And do have the sappers here deploying out a landmine. Looks like they won't find the landmine, but they could find on their retreat, which could be quite deadly. That's a 25-pounder there, so going for that first is probably a good idea. And he does now have elite infantry. Not a lot of force here. He's staying over for some stews, probably. Scope rifles, of course, can get deployed designated marks and then quickly pick off one of these models. Needs to make sure they fire at the same time. There's some good light cover here for them as well. 25-pounder lining up a shot somewhere over here. And it does have the Slit Trenches in this region. Some City Grenades could be quite handy. 25-pounder needs one more shot and it will go down. It does go down. Good there on the HQ command truck there. It does have good angle, but given enough time, that pin amount can suppress. He's going to does suppress one, does suppress both. Needs to retreat back now. He's not going to get much more work done there. Pioneers capture those points. Sniper going to do nothing right here. Rifleman will find the sniper there and will overrun it.
One of our snipers is down.
He does fall back with both these squads now. HQ command truck still has plenty of health. He does have a repair sapper to overheal it as well.
Reserves hold an assault force for us. They need
Fresh
to join
stew
us.
being deployed on out. That can be very useful for us as the various British infantry. Great hit there on the scope rifle squad. No veterancy on his tanks at the moment. The Panzer Lead player has fallen back, going for the Panther Support Command. Getting out a 2-2. Who's advancing forward? Here, 25-pounder barrage. Not sure what I'm actually hearing. Okay, something over here. Oh, it's an M2, not a 25-pounder. So we've got infantry and rogue artillery versus Blitzkrieg and an unknown doctrine by the Panzer Lead player.
$200 points is inadequate.
Axis players take VPs are counting down very quickly. And the shoe does find a shot there, gets a decent hit there on the rifleman squad. Speeder is going to need to capture multiple sectors. Do got a Greyhound here. Patrick does roll a miss there. Stu actually gets a decent hit. Greyhound's, of course, not very effective against the frontal armor of the Stu, nor really the rear armor of the Stu. Friend Carrier does get some suppression there on multiple squads. Patrick soon will roll a miss there. So does the Stu. The Stu is advancing forward. Now got the Veteran Sergeant upgrade. Decent hit there on the Friend Carrier. The Friend Carrier does go down to those forces. You got the Gunner killed, crits onto the Greyhounds. Good hits there onto the Panzer Grenadier.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Notice he's advancing forward with these Stag Hounds. Got some Panther-Trucks, multiple squads of Panther-Trucks in this region. Gets some good hits there on the Stag Hound. Does get interrupted there. Does get killed there on one of the Stag Hounds in that garrison. This Stormtrooper squad needs to fall back. This one can stay for the time being. Over here, do got a Stu engaging. Looks like fully wipes out that infantry section there. Got a Hetzer now available. But of course, needs a little bit more manpower. Finds a decent hit down with the Stormtroopers. Does spread his fire out, but gets some good damage. 2 and mortar half tracks moving around. It's going to take time to repair up those Stag Hounds. He does have repair sappers. Does have 2 squads of repair sappers, so that's going to be a lot of overhealed Stag Hounds. Just like this, Panzer Grenadier squad is getting ripped apart. Captain firing away with his revolver as well. In the current sector, he's deployed as captain, and he does have defensive buff all across this entire sector. You could try redeploying his HQ, one of his HQs in the sector, just simply to secure it and lock it down, preventing any sort of sector income from the right side of the map. More half tracks are raining on in. 25-pounders trying to counter barrage. That could be the M2. Either way, artillery wars. Fresh Cromwell deployed on out of the field. And the captain does catch a mortar. At that time, he wished he had a cloud of cold, not a mortar. Panzer Grenadiers getting inside the garrison there, trying to hold the line. We got the Stu in the region. Panzer Grenadiers and Tank Buster advancing forward. I thought he's going to look like he was trying to go for a frag grenade right there. Let's use suppressive fire ability right there. Good hit there on the Panzer Grenadiers. Urban squad does fall back and make it wiped out right there. No, the Russian squad does manage to escape on out of there.
Upgrade complete.
Upgrade complete. That is a Hetzer.
Under attack.
Speaking of which, of course, he has gone for Tank Hunter. We may see some teller mines. Getting some teller mines out wouldn't hurt. He has spent his munitions, so maybe he has. The two Hetzer are backing on off. Got a pair of Greyhounds and a pair of Staghounds. Two force get the gunner once again. The Pinkbuster squad doesn't get fully wiped out by the various 37 millimeters. Shoes does get a small splash hit there. Hetzer still just trying to fire away against the Staghounds. And Cromwell is starting to engage these mortar half tracks. Mortar half track does go down. ATS are trying to advance forward. The Cromwell and Staghounds, of course, can encircle it. Stu's trying to support the AT Hetzer. Cromwell does not move in to perhaps circle around. And Cromwell does receive a pen there. And the Hetzer's receive looks like a 17-pounder hits there. Right? There's a 17-pounder right there. The 17-pounder does take out the Hetzer. Patricks are advancing forward. Large number of Patricks hits that overhealed Staghound. The overheal, of course, does save the Staghound from going down. Rush AT Hetzer is advancing forward. And looks like the Stormtroopers do get suppressed. ATS are advancing, getting a hit there on the Cromwell. Cromwell's on with the rear arm. Nope, does not advance the rear armor. And Stormtroopers do fall back. Hetzer is now seeing quite a bit of fire right there. It does get a good hit there on the Cromwell. It looks like one the Panzer League player has backed out of the game. And that's going to be the end of this replay. I'll just fast forward the rest of the game. Since with one player backed out of the game, the other player is backing out now. Good mortar hit there. But now the game is ultimately over. And now it is fully over. This is Andgrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.